Hey, how you doing? Hope you're loving life and staying positive out there since we got a ton of snow here last night, about 2 feet of snow in Ontario, Canada. I thought I'd do a little update on the grow room for the caregiver's license. As you can see, the Franken wall is built. It's not painted or anything like that. Everything's about 50%, maybe 60% done. Uh, you can see that you don't really necessarily see a door right away. It's still, since I've been growing since like the mid 90s, everything I do is still, even though it's all legal and everything, it's still kind of hidden. So I got a little kind of, door entrance or whatever. Once it's all painted with the picture frames and stuff, you won't really see. But I'll do a little update on the grow room with the table and stuff's kind of finished. Still waiting on the license from Health Canada. And this is where we're at so far. It's extremely cold in here. Uh, the lights out temperature is way too cold to actually put plants in, so I'm going to have to put a little insulation in here like that, and something on the floor. I was going to put some laminate. I'm just going to put some underlay down probably tonight after this. Yeah, the electrical conduit, I'm going to have to run that tonight too. Some more poly and stuff like that, but for now I'll just do a quick little update on the grow table. In Ontario, Canada, the lockdown and stay at home order bullshit was all done, so able to get the parts to finish off the table at least. So I'll update on that. This is kind of the style that I use. It's a baby version of what I use on a larger scale, so I'll just show you what's kind of going on. Some of the parts are interchangeable. This is actually a cheaper version. We normally use like an angle iron that's a lot stronger than this stuff, and a different type of mesh that's more like not a barbecue grill, but a waffle kind of cross pattern that can be welded in. So this is a way cheaper version that might actually work better, because if there's any leaves they could fall through. So I'll explain that. I think on the last one it just had the white kind of drain tray. So I told you how I like to have the plants off the ground. So, you don't need a table or anything. First of all, we'll just say that. Like, none of you guys don't have to build this. I'm just showing you over the years what many different kind of table designs. This is what works the best for me, whether you're using hard pots, air pots, even beds. You can just put a couple more braces under a bed and you'll be fine. But it's a great version. I like it a lot. This is kind of a scaled down at home version with cheaper materials. This I don't know what you actually call this kind of. It's like an angle iron, but it's a lot thinner. It's not the things used for drywall, for corners on drywall. It's a lot thicker than that, but you can still cut it with tin snips. So it's a thicker gauge, but it's not the stuff, if people are looking for it at Home Depot, I don't know what it's called. It's in like the little small steel section. It's not the stuff that they use for drywall. I'll just say that off because that's way too flimsy. And all I basically did, I showed you the drain table. Nothing's attached. Everything's easy removal. The centerpiece, only the side braces are bolted down here. And there's a slight angle on this. I told you how I like to have this as a drain, so it's angled up. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's a 1x2 in the center and a 2x4 at the very end that go across. Kind of some support, but it also gives a nice little angle, like with everything to drain this way. And all I use at the end, I'll be putting that on later, is a eaves trough. It just goes on and it angles this way, and it'll come down to either like a 5-gallon bucket or a pail that you can either just pick up here or put a pump in and drain it out. But basically all I did was, you get these angle brackets, they get fixed on to the wood base. It's on rollers and stuff. I can still move this all around because I told you before I like having 2 feet is a good rule if people are wondering how much to have on either side. There's a foot now, but I can roll the table all the way to one side and have 2 feet for easy work on both sides, front and back. But all this is, it's attached there. You do your side braces here, right, because it's going to go all the way across. And I do it smaller than the table, so I have overlay, so if anything drips off, it all just runs into the tray on both sides like this. So you're not going to have anything fall on the floor or anything like that, right? And then when you figure out what size cage or whatever you're going to use here, these are actually, if you can look close, you see the black things are these zip ties. It's 2 cages. They're about $13. I don't know if it's used for building retaining walls. I've seen them for livestock fences and stuff, but I have two of those, and to make it smaller, this would be how big one is. So I put two, and you overlap it, so you can put anything on there, soft, hard plastic. If you want it smaller, with like, so your grid pattern would be like that, you can just take the top one and shift it to the side, and the top one would move over, cutting all this in half. But I like having the double side support here on the sides, because that's more weight bearing than at the very end. So if it was spread over, it would just be single like that, and it might flex more. This flexes, I could stand on this right now. But so that's super strong, and everything was cheap. The most expensive part for this table, for the at-home baby version, was these are like 20 bucks or $25, the plastic white roofing things. There's two of those. They were stuck together with PL Premium, that's the brown stuff, and then I used clear silicone over top, so it's all, nothing's going to leak in or whatever. It's all watertight, but you can still remove it if you need to. Same with the center section, isn't bolted down, or the cage for now. If yours does pull away from the sides, you can either move the angle in or put a zip tie or a U-bolt through some of these holes, and they'll stop it from flexing and maybe the sides popping off, you know, if you have that problem. But if you design it right, you shouldn't. And yeah, the brackets, again, they're about 4 feet up, so I can put all the trellis netting and everything on. Same as at the other place, it's just a smaller baby version of it, so I thought I'd show how I like to do it, and if people want to copy it, feel free, because it saves your back, because it's off the ground. It's warmer in a case like that because it's freezing cold on the ground down here. This is like ice cold. And yeah, it drains easier. It's easier to clean. When you're done watering, you can just start spraying all the hydrogen peroxide on here. It'll run right down and clean any crap out. It's easy enough to still, you can reach your arm under and clean it if there's like leaves or anything. The gaps, I like gaps this big just so the leaves, if there are any that fall down, they fall underneath and it's not causing issues. So yeah, just a little updates, about 50-60% done. I'm going to do some insulation and stuff, but for now, yeah, that's the update. So that's the update. Alright everybody, peace.